Hey guys, I'm Tom Howard, Vice President of Customer Experience at ServiceTitan, but some of you may know me as Tom Howard, owner of Lee's Air and Plumbing out of Fresno, California. And most of you probably don't know me at all, and that's fine. I'm just another contractor that works at ServiceTitan. And I called one of my buddies yesterday. This is why I'm making this video. I called him and I said, hey, how are you doing? He's up in the Northwest. He owns an AC company. And he said, well, how are you doing? I said, well, you know, we're struggling through it. We're doing everything we can to generate leads. And he said, well, Tom, I got to tell you, we actually laid off 80% of our staff. And it was like a gut punch to me, to be totally honest. We've known each other for a long time. He's come down and visited my shop. And we started going through a lot of things that he's doing and not doing. And actually pulled out a playbook called the COVID Contractor Playbook that ServiceTitan published a couple weeks ago. It's got a bunch of ideas from contractors that are doing well. We compiled it into one book. And we found two things in there that could actually help his business to grow. And I realized we should probably make a short video about some of the highlights of that book and get the word out as best we can to try to help people as soon as possible. We've actually been doing a lot of webinars, and from those webinars we've been getting ideas and adding them to the playbook. One of the people that showed up in one of those webinars was actually Aaron Gaynor. And we asked him, you know, we said a lot of people are going out and they have employees that don't want to come into work, and how are you handling that? He said the biggest thing for him was going out and addressing his employees very realistically about it and not leaving it to their imagination. He came out and said, look, here's the issue, here's the problems we have, and this is what could hit us with COVID. And we're here to protect the safety of the nation. And if you guys are with me, please step forward. If you're not, we're not going to hold it against you. Please step back. Everyone basically stepped forward at that point. At that point, he had buy-in from his entire team. And it was a great demonstration of leadership that got his team on board to actually go out there shoulder to shoulder and help. He actually, when I say shoulder to shoulder, I literally mean shoulder to shoulder. He's actually, this is Aaron over here with his mask on, his gloves, getting ready to go out there with his employees. Another group that also did that really well was Sarah and Brad from Radiant down in Texas. They're mostly an air conditioning company, but they do a lot of plumbing as well. And they had a bunch of people going out, and they were running out of masks and equipment. So what she did, she actually was a nurse back in the day, and so she looked online to find different fabrics that would filter pretty well. They're not going to be 100% perfect, but she said, you know what, I'll figure out and do what I got to do to try to get these things to work. So she started getting people together to sew their own masks to be able to provide masks to her people. Additionally, they couldn't throw those away because they're sewing them one at a time. So she bought UV light boxes online that you usually sanitize cell phones with, and they can plug it in your truck. So it's a great idea. We put it in the playbook. Now her technicians can go around, driving around, put the masks into the light box after a call and let it sanitize itself after it's done. Next thing we talked about a lot that we noticed a lot of contractors were doing that were doing well is they're all letting their customers know that they're still open. And I know that sounds crazy, and it's not something we normally run into, but Josh Campbell down in Texas at Rescue Air, he actually made a video and published it talking about all the things he does and his employees do to help them get through the crisis and to make sure that the customers are safe and let them know that they're still open. So this has worked out really well for him. He's put it on social media. He's put it everywhere else. He's emailed it to his customers. And basically, it's made a big difference for him. We'd highly recommend it to anyone that's out there. Using video is great. It doesn't have to be super high production. Next thing is, Service Champions gave this to us. This is a pop-out on their website. If you go to their website, this is what comes up. We're open to safely serve you during this time. This keeps your bounce rate down on your website so that when people go to your website, they find out that definitely you're open and they can call you when they get there, and they're not going to question whether or not you're open. Next thing is going out on social media. So this company's Village Plumbing in West University Place, Texas. I mean, it can't get any more obvious than this. We are open. Let people know that you're still there and that they can call you and that you're there to help them during this crisis. Last thing is, ServiceTitan has offered Marketing Pro for free for people. We're going to put the website on it. It's actually servicetitan.com/marketing-pro-trial. You can go on there and sign up. It gives you a free trial of it. This is not a sales pitch. This is not like, oh, you're You sign up for a month and then you automatically have to start paying after that. It's a couple of months free until June to help people be able to send out email campaigns really easily to their customers. So if you're in ServiceTitan, it can do things like go through your whole customer list, send out an email with pre-built templates on there. They also put some COVID-related templates, so it's easy to get these out to your customers without having to have a graphic design staff in the back. If you're a smaller company, you don't have that, don't worry, you can sign up for this and get it for free for right now to help out. It's not the full version, but at least get the emails out for your customers. Next thing is people that I've talked to, one of them is Ken Goodrich, who's actually on a webinar with me on April 3rd. Ken said, everyone's looking out right now to try to cut their expenses. And right now, cutting marketing expenses is probably the worst idea you could have. You want to cut all the marketing that's not working, but cutting marketing that is working just to try to save money is just going to put you in a worse place than you're already in. So most of the people that are doing well, that are really pushing it right now, are even doubling down on their marketing. A lot of places he talked about that aren't essential services are no longer marketing because they can't. So that's driving the cost of marketing down. So your paid ads can get cheaper, your radio ads can get cheaper. You should be talking to all those medias, whether it's radio, TV, digital ads, and seeing if you can get better prices. Obviously on Google, it's an auction system. You should be able to be getting cheap ads as it is. Additionally, if the campaign's not working that you're running, don't assume that the medium's bad. You might be doing something wrong in that campaign. Maybe it's not the right offer to be offering right now. Maybe indoor air quality or something else should be the way to go, obviously, as we're hitting the crisis. Another thing he mentioned was outbound calling. Preparing your people to do outbound calling and digging up everything you can with those customers is critical. And not only that, but he even mentioned go sit down with your CSRs for a little bit and figure out what they're saying. And make sure you have a script together that actually works. Talk to your customers about why it's essential and why you need to be in the homes right now and why you need to make sure that this gets done. It's great advice from Ken. We really, really appreciate it. Another thing that we talked about a lot was actually negotiating with vendors. Ken talked about this, but another guy that talked about it with me a lot was Tommy Mello out of A1 Garage Store down in Phoenix. And yeah, for those of you that know Tommy, he does spend time posing like this, like he's auditioning for GQ or something. But I've known Tommy for a while, and I called him and said, hey, how's it going? He said, well, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And he was talking about negotiating with vendors, but not only his suppliers, but also even his landlord. I said, why are you doing that? I said, is it that hard? Are you out of money right now? He's like, I'm not out of money yet. And but I don't want to get to the point to where I'm out of money, and then I start negotiating with him. When Ken was talking, he said, you don't want to go to the bank and ask the bank for a line of credit when you're out of money. Tommy's mentioning, I have the cards right now. I can keep things going. I can make stuff happen. But I want to talk to my landlord. I want to talk to my vendors. I want to make sure that I'm getting the best credit terms I can. Because the reality is your landlord, your suppliers, everybody, they're all in this with you. If your company goes down, they lose a customer, they lose a tenant, whatever, during crises, commercial vacancy rates on buildings skyrockets. Your landlord doesn't want that. He doesn't want to be a part of that. He wants to work with you. So I'd be talking to them as soon as possible. The people that we see that are really doing well right now or have been through these crises in the past, that's what they're doing. It's hard to kind of broach that subject, but most people are just making that happen. Applying for the disaster loans. We have a lot of information on this in the COVID playbook for contractors. We're going to put the link to that playbook at the bottom of this, but it's ServiceTitan.com/coronavirus. In there, you'll find the playbook. And at the bottom of the playbook, it's going to talk about how to apply for these disaster loans, either EIDL or the PPP. I'm sure you guys have heard about them by now, but you can go in there and get information on both of them. Make sure you get those loan applications in there as soon as possible. They do have limited amounts of money, especially with the PPP. It's going to get soaked up really quickly. Finally, please go to that playbook. Look in there. Please provide comments on the side. On the right-hand side, if you have great ideas that are working for your company, please let us know by adding comments on the side. It's a Google Doc. You can add comments. We'll be aggregating those and adding them to the playbook so that other contractors can benefit from this. So in the end of this, guys like my buddy that's up in the Northwest, we should be able to put our arms around each other and say, hey man, we made it through this together. I'm glad we did this. You know, we're going to be better for it. And we're going to be able to look back on this thing and really be able to smile and say, wow, look at how much better our contracting companies are because we went through this. Thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate it.